Hey guys, and welcome to Film Artsy, your number one source for all things films and movies. My name is Elijah, and just a couple of days ago we were speculating on the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. What's in store for the MCU and the possibility of the Avengers down the road? We talked about the different types of characters that would be in the MCU, and it was a really interesting conversation. But one thing we didn't really touch on is who's going to lead the next team of superheroes, whether they decide to take on the moniker of the Avengers, or they do something different like the New Avengers, West Coast Avengers, or A-Force. There's a lot of variables still in the MCU, and we had some ideas about the future that we wanted to talk about. So, looking at this, who could take on the role of the leader of the next Avengers?
Agent Romanoff, you miss me?
Oh yeah, Charles, we got ourselves an X-Men fan.
Captain.
Your Highness.
Captain, big fan, Spider-Man. Hey everyone.
One of the most obvious choices that it looks like the MCU could be setting up would be Captain Marvel. She's kind of one of the newer characters and was heavily hinted at in Infinity War and played a rather small role still in Endgame, but was still around. And they've been building up this character for a while. And while we do believe that it is a possibility that maybe Carol Danvers could lead the Avengers, there is also the possibility that maybe that's not what they're going to do. If you look at Carol's character in Captain Marvel, she is very distant from Earth. While she doesn't have really her memory from her years on Earth too well, she's in the recent years, in the last 20 or so years after she fully revealed her potential after Captain Marvel, she's been in outer space helping other planets, which might mean that her role as a leader might come more in the form of this extraterrestrial type of role. She's still a leader character, but maybe she won't be the force on Earth that's supposed to protect Earth. She might not be one of Earth's mightiest heroes. So that kind of makes us think, who's going to be the Avengers on Earth? Who's gonna, set up the next office and assemble a team of heroes together? Sam Wilson as Captain America is another obvious choice, just because Captain America was one of the main leaders, kind of on par with Iron Man before, but at the same time, does Sam Wilson have the same leadership potential that Captain America had? There's a possibility for sure, but it would be interesting maybe if a different character or a more unexpected character took on the role of being the actual leader of the Avengers. And this leads us into the theory that the next leader for the Avengers would be Peter Parker. I know it sounds weird because he's kind of goofy and he's very immature right now, but as the MCU continues to grow, we're hoping we don't see another major Avengers movie for a few years at least, to give us some breathing room after Endgame and let them establish some things to make things new again. But there is something to be said about Peter Parker receiving kind of the handoff from Tony Stark, who clearly was the leader of the Avengers for a while, and Captain America also, and they almost led in their own unique ways. But Peter Parker, if you look even at the trailer from Far From Home, it's looking like they're setting him up on his next arc, which is going to be him realizing the responsibility that he has. And if you look at the universe of Marvel from a whole, without just zeroing in on what the MCU has developed, who's the most recognizable character out of the cast of characters we have? Everyone knows who Spider-Man is, and what if he did become a leader? And there's a lot of other little things moving around in the background that also make this a more likely possibility that at some point Peter Parker could become the leader of a team. We're starting to see younger and younger characters hinted at in the MCU. We see Hawkeye training his daughter at the beginning of Endgame, and maybe she will take on the moniker of Hawkeye. We see Cassie Lang, who's now a teenager in Endgame, who could one day become the new Ant-Man or Wasp. And it wouldn't be too odd for Peter Parker, despite his young age, leading other heroes, like a young Avengers, and teaming up with other people he's interacted with in the past. I think there might still be some kind of conflict, but maybe this is a growing point that they're trying to develop for Spider-Man's character. It's definitely a plausible theory. Also, we know that moving forward in the MCU, they're going to begin to kind of do a shift to focus more on the intergalactic extraterrestrial side of the MCU. There's still going to be characters grounded in Earth, but we're going to explore more of the cosmos. And that's where we're going to see characters like Captain Marvel, and we're going to see more expansion on the Guardians of the Galaxy, and we're going to have an Eternals movie coming out. So there's kind of this outer space area, but we're also going to see some characters that are still rooted in Earth, like Spider-Man, what we see coming up, and we definitely are going to see more developments from other characters along the way. What if there's conflict? What if they do the same thing that they did with the first 3 phases, where they had both Iron Man and Captain America almost as leaders in their own way, and then they kind of bump heads and we had this whole civil war? I could see a very similar outcome happening where Spider-Man tries to put together a team in the same fashion that Tony Stark once did to save the Earth and protect the Earth, and Captain Marvel, who has all this experience in the galaxy and cosmos, and decides to put together a team of heroes from that, and recruits a team of heroes from outer space to work together to protect Earth. And maybe one day there's conflict there too, and that could lead us into another civil war, which are still fun movies to watch, especially as it grows both sides and both characters. And they usually do, I mean, from the last Civil War, they did a good job at leveraging the reasoning behind each set of characters. So this could be a really interesting and plausible possibility. Now, if you're still not on board with characters like Peter Parker leading the Avengers, Sam Wilson is still a serious candidate, but we feel like his role so far hasn't been too much on his own. He's kind of been more of a foil to Captain America rather than a standalone character, so they'd have to develop him more if he was going to become the leader of the next set of Avengers. Other interesting candidates could be the Black Panther, as he is already a leader. He has access to a lot of technology, but I kind of like his role being a self-contained role in Wakanda, and him coming out of Wakanda to join forces. So we don't really think that he would want to even lead a team of heroes unless it's necessary to join forces. So we don't really think he's going to be a major player. Doctor Strange also is kind of confined to his own character arc, and we see Guardians of the Galaxy more merging with Thor, that it's less likely Thor would take on the leadership role of the Avengers, especially when he never really led the Avengers beforehand. The final possibility that we're thinking could be Professor Hulk. While he might not be a strong, crazy force like he used to be, he's still a very intelligent character. He has experience working with the Avengers before, and now that he kind of is more controlled, he kind of has the contacts and the reputation to put a team together. Plus, what else would they do with this character? He's gone through several different arcs, and maybe him having to step up to the plate could be an interesting leader to the Avengers, and he's a recognizable character to say the least. There's definitely a lot of possibilities. We'd really like to kind of see more of a glimpse of the future of the MCU because it's so vague right now, just with a lot of these movies only having very light announcements around them, not really a definitive list like we had with Phase 3, but so much can still happen, and it's going to be an amazing future of the MCU. Just seeing the conclusion of Phase 3 and Endgame, and from what we've seen from Far From Home, they're setting up some big stuff in the future, and while it seems like it could be impossible for Endgame to ever be topped, maybe they're going to put us through this amazing journey that has a good payoff again, like we experienced in the first Infinity Saga. So let us know what you're thinking. But what do you guys think? Let us know what you're thinking in the comments down below. Who will lead the Avengers in the future, or whatever team of characters we have? We'd love to hear what you think. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe with notifications on, and we'll see you all next time with a brand new video.
What's up, Dorito? Then, better late than never, Captain America, Chris Evans, crashes the interview. Hugs all around, but hey, where's Roxy?
I'm sorry.
Chris Evans.
You two are.
Hi.
You both are relevant. Great. Thanks,
Okay. This interview actually ended 2 minutes ago. We just.
Kyle.
enjoy this Team Iron wannabe man, but the right team is the only team, Cap.
No negativity from me.
Are you a baby?
Oh, wow.
Are you Avery? You're a pretty girl. Yes. Are you happy?
Hey guys, we hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure you guys hit the like button down below and subscribe for more Film Artsy. If you guys want to showcase your talent to the world, Film Artsy is the best place for you guys to do it. Please submit your videos to filmartsyofficial@gmail.com, or you guys can click the link in the description. We really want to see what kind of talent you guys can provide. So let us know, send us an email, and we'll check out your videos, and we'll see you all in the next video.